Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. This is day 13 of 30 Blue Inks 30 days, and today we have another Troublemaker ink. This ink is Simoun or Simoun. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, so if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. And this is one of those deep blue inks with the red sheen that I just love. So I've really been enjoying this ink today. And our pen for today is a Jinhao 992. It's the clear demonstrator. And I've used this pen quite a bit. And I don't know if any of you have run into the same problem, but liquid gets inside the section. It's hard to explain unless this has happened to you, but there's the black plastic feed, and then there's an inner wall of the section and an outer wall of the section, and liquid gets in between those two walls of the section, and I do not know how to get it out. So I had some kind of turquoise ink in this before, so it's making the pen look turquoise, but this ink is not turquoise. And I've rinsed the pen, I've soaked the pen, I've wrapped it up in paper towels and squeezed, I've done everything I can think of. I haven't tried to use bleach on it yet, you know, a weak bleach solution. I don't want to damage the pen. Even though this is an inexpensive pen, I still love all of my pens and I don't want to damage it. But that ink stuck inside there just drives me crazy. So, anyway, these are the problems I'm having to deal with today. So if that's the only problem that I have, I guess I should consider myself lucky, right? All right. So we are going to get started on our swatch here. And I don't know if you've seen these Troublemaker samples before, but they are just adorable. They are teeny tiny, and they're so cute. Do my little drip. Ooh, my Q-tip's being a little wonky. Let's see. What's going on there? Okay. Alrighty. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's getting ready to run off the page. Okay. All right. So, I don't know if I want to set him up to dry or not, because I think it's going to run off the paper. Which, I don't know if you can see that, but that drip is just hanging out at the edge of the paper. So I'll get it to run back up a little bit. Well, we'll take our chances. Alright, so now I'm going to do a writing sample in my Clairefontaine notebook. And let's see if I can make a little space for my notebook here. Alright, and I'll do a little smear. Ooh, kind of smeared everything. Alright. So that is looking, what would you call that? Like a dark turquoise. And it does have a lot of red sheen. And I do have some inks that are about this color that are heavy on the red sheen. It's really fun. All right. so let's see how our sample is doing. It is very, very wet. And I'm just getting that ink to run around a little bit. Whew. I think it's going to take this a while to dry. But I do see the red sheen coming out around the edges. Can you see that? You can see that it's very, very wet. But the sheen is starting to come out. So this is definitely a heavy sheener. So, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I have a ton of blue inks. Therefore, I have a ton of cards to look at. So I'll try to go through quickly so it doesn't get too repetitive, but this is my favorite thing to look at. Alright, so here is Simoun's brother, Blue Guitar. These are both Troublemaker inks. Just looking at the drip, it looks like Simoun has a much wetter consistency, because you could see Blue Guitar just ran a little bit, but Simoun is kind of all over the place. And this one is a bit darker of a blue than Blue Guitar. I would be very happy to have either or both of these inks in my collection. Not just samples, but I'm happy that I have samples for now. There is Diamine Asa Blue, and he is looking very close to Blue Guitar, I think. Yes, they are very close to each other. Alright, here is Robert Oster, Lake of Fire. And he's more of a darker teal ink, I would say. Not quite that bright blue. There is Private Reserve Naples Blue. Now that's not a bad match. This is also a very heavy sheening ink. So it's darker than Blue Guitar. I would say that is very close to our ink of the day. And here is our recent star, Pure Pen, am I saying that right? Pure Pen's Celtic Sea. And he is a bit lighter. I would say he's kind of close to Asa Blue. They're very similar. And there is Sailor Soughton. I would say he's definitely out. He's a lighter, almost a powder blue. Maybe darker than powder blue, but more of that pastel-y kind of color. And there's another favorite of mine, Colorverse Supernova. And he is right in this ballpark. That kind of medium blue. It's a little bit lighter than our ink of the day, but very close. And here's another of our recent stars, Pure Pen's Saltire. He's a much darker blue, more of a purple cast to it. So definitely not a match there. And Majestic Blue, that's very similar to Saltire. There's DC Super Show Blue. Again, this is much bluer. These inks are all looking a little bit more turquoise, a dark turquoise. But Super Show Blue is very straight blue. I feel like I need better words for the different shades of blue. If anybody has any tips on the range of the names of blue colors, please let me know. There's Organic Studio Nitrogen. And I've said before that Nitrogen and Naples Blue were very close, and they are very close. And he's pretty close to Simoun. So let's see. And there is Blue Velvet. Again, he is not that turquoisey kind of color, but more or fading to teal, I suppose you could say. And Sargasso Sea, that is very blue, but again with that nice sheen. And there is AO Blue, Tasha AO Blue. And more of a purpley tone, but again, beautiful red sheen. And there is KWZ Standard Azure number 5. I think this ink is just beautiful. And he's kind of in the ballpark too. I think more so than Blue Velvet. And here's another one of my recent samples that I just love. This is Venta Inks. I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong. Dugung Baga. And it's that dark teal blue with that red sheen. Oh my goodness, these inks are so beautiful. And again, do I need 15 different shades of the same color? Yes, I do. Alright, here's that Noodler's Baltimore Canyon Blue, one of the only sheening inks that I know of in Noodler's collection. So I think it's fascinating just because of that. But again, not really the same type of blue as these. And here's my favorite, Monteverde Horizon Blue. I just love it. But not the same category of blue as these inks. And there's Great Southern Ocean. Now we're starting to get darker. So he's definitely out. And here is Ralph Waldo Emerson. I think I've mentioned before, my sample of this must be drying out because the ink seems very thick. But I still swatched it on a card to see what it would look like. I've had the sample for a couple of years. And it's kind of that same range of a darker teal ink. And of course it has a lot of sheen. And it has some shading and different things going on with the ink. But I don't know if that sheen is going to show up in the light. But again, I don't know if my sample is going bad. I don't know if the ink always looks like this. But I'm going to stick him over here. He's kind of an honorable mention. Now here's the Regency Blue that we just did. He's definitely out. He's more in the purple range with that very interesting orange sheen. And then these are all getting darker. That's the Cobalt, Three Oysters Cobalt, which is a beautiful blue, but again, a different category of blue. And here is Asagao, another ink that I just love. I love them all. What can I say? But yeah, he's not matching up with these inks. And finally, I have Diamine Oxford Blue. And he is that darker, more purpley ink. Oh, wait, hold on. Where did that ink go? Regency Blue. Now they're both having that orangey red sheen. One is, the Regency Blue is a bit more purple than the Oxford Blue. But they both have that interesting orangey sheen. All right, well, that's a discussion for another ink video. But I think these four are very close. And I think maybe Naples Blue and Simoun are pretty close to each other. So if you like that kind of dark turquoise or tealish ink with some red sheen, and you're not able to get your hands on this Troublemaker Simoun, you might be able to get your hands on Private Reserve Naples Blue. Although I have heard there are things going on with the Private Reserve company, so if anybody has any details about that, please let me know. My two local ink shops have both told me that they're having trouble getting restocks, and this happened before the quarantine shut down, so I don't think it was the quarantine that prevented them from getting stock of Private Reserve. I think there might be something going on with the company. So, if you can get your hands on some Private Reserve, do it now before it's all gone. I have a few bottles of different inks myself, but very interesting colors. And I think I will enjoy using this one today, and he's drying, and oh my goodness, the sheen is just going crazy. Can you see that? Woo, look at that sheen. Gorgeous. All right. Well, I hope you are enjoying your pens and inks today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more videos in the future, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.